Welcome to another episode of T260. Today, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do something a little different. When you pick up a Lodge Dutch oven, it actually comes with a little owner's manual on, basic tips, how to clean it, these various different things. It also has a few recipes, and I thought about it might be kind of cool to find one and test out and see if it's any good. And one I was kind of interested in is called Mountain Man Breakfast. It only has 4 ingredients, which will be kind of cool if I was to take this out camping and test this out. It's 2 pounds of sausage, 2 pounds of hash browns, 8 eggs, and 2 cups of grated cheese. So quite simple. It's a little big, so I'm going to cut this recipe down in half. It's just my wife and my 3-year-old today. It's a little bit too much food to be cooking, so we'll go ahead and cut it in half. But let's go give it a shot and see if it's any good. So for our first step, we ground up 1 pound of hamburger, and excuse the lighting, we are outside. We've cut the recipe in half once again, so 1 pound. We've did 1 pound of hash browns. Now in the recipe, it doesn't say if it's the patties or the shredded hash browns. So I just got the shredded hash browns. We also downsized our Dutch oven. It calls for a 12-inch shallow, but we're gonna go with a 10-inch deep for this. Okay, now it's time to start assembling this. First things first, we need to go ahead and spray inside of our Dutch oven. And we're gonna go ahead and dump the 1 pound of ground sausage. We're gonna kind of smooth this out, make it a little even. We're gonna dump our 1 pound of hash browns. Although it looks like I could have gone more, but I'm following their recipe, just cutting it in half. Okay, I think I could have done 1.5 pounds when it comes to the hash browns. I'll try that nest time. Go ahead and we're pouring our eggs. Now, it calls for 8 eggs, but since we're cutting this half, we're only doing 4. And calls for 2 cups of cheese, so we're only doing 1, about half a bag, so I'm just going to go ahead and just dump half the bag. This is a 2-cup bag, so that's all we need. And just kind of spread that all around, make it all look nice and even and pretty. If you're new to this channel, one thing I want to talk about is coal arrangement. I have 12 on top and I have 6 on bottom. And the reason why you have far less on the bottom as you do on top, in this case literally half of what I have on top and bottom, in this case 6 on bottom, 12 on top, is because heat rises. So you need a lot more heat on top together versus on the bottom it's just going to hit the Dutch oven. So keep that in mind when you're cooking. You don't want 12 on bottom and 12 on the top. You want half of what you have on the top is what's going to go on the bottom. So keep that in mind when you're cooking with Dutch ovens, and especially if you're new to it. Okay, it's been 20 to 25 minutes and that's what it calls for, so let's take a look. Okay, our cheese is quite melted, it's bubbling, so it's safe to say the eggs are cooked, and that was the only ingredient in this that wasn't cooked when we put it in the Dutch oven. So it's safe to say to go ahead and remove it off the coals and let it cool down for a little bit. So we've had a little chance for it to cool off. I'm going to go see if I can do the best I can to give you a close-up. It's still kind of warm. Do we get a good look at that? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and dish this some up. One thing I would change on this, I would say add the cheese in the last 5 minutes instead of just go ahead and add the cheese when you put everything together. But that is one thing I would change. I'm gonna go cut me a chunk of this. And there we go, if they can take a good look. Looks pretty good. We'll take a little taste here in a second. Okay, in all fairness, I did offer the first piece to my wife, but she does not like being on camera, so I'm going to go ahead and try this out and see how it is. Okie dokie. And try another piece, gotta try it. Okay. Considering it's only 4 ingredients, quite good. I might add a little bit of picante sauce on it just because that's how I am. But overall, pretty darn good. Maybe a little bit more hash browns. We cut the recipe in half. So maybe if I do the whole thing, I might do 3 pounds of hash browns. But overall, pretty darn good. I don't know if it's supposed to have the hash brown patties or the shredded hash browns. Once again, it does not say in the recipe. But if you like this channel, please give us a thumbs up and suggest more ideas for us.